But we have a couple players that I wanted us to talk about today. So let's just get into it. The first one is the player that we're already talking about, Christantus Uche. You
Yeah,
know, beautiful finish for him. Helped his side avoid relegation. You know, they've now officially secured their spot in the Spanish La Liga for another
that's it.
season.
Yeah,
Fantastic year for him. You know, this is a player that before this season, almost everybody did not have a clue who he was.
mm-hmm.
You know, I personally also did not know who he was. I was not watching
Yeah,
him in Quetta. I'm not going to lie to anybody that I was tracking him in Quetta. I did not
yeah,
know who he was. I heard about him before the season started.
mm-hmm.
Nigerian boy, young, joined Getafe, you know, and the way he has just burst onto the scene, you like they said for my
My
carry
correction.
chat,
Yeah,
burst onto the scene, has made himself known, you know, knocking on the door of the Super Eagles and everything. So, like,
yeah.
what can you say about the season that Christantus Uche has had?
For me, I would say it's like a topsy turvy, season. I would say, it's like a roller coaster because it started like house on fire, against Bilbao. Remember, come and say, hey, who is this guy? Ha,
Mm.
hey, I think Bilbao we sell it as what you call. They will sell him quickly. Getafe will
In
sell him quickly.
January, yeah.
January, can this and that. He dipped, and when he scored again after that, he said, "Hey, I'm back, I'm back." Well, we didn't see the back. But overall, I would say that he actually he did well. Despite that, a lot of people did not even know him. Making your debut, professional debut, because Quetta is like a semi-pro. Making your making your professional debut, and Yashua did well. I think he deserves his flowers, and also too, he's a confident young man. He's a guy that believes he's better than anybody. I can tell you. Try and speak to him. He thinks that is the best thing after sliced bread.
Mhm.
Yes, he's so confident about his ability. He can say, if you mention Kevin De Bruyne, forget the say he's better. I'm just trying to exaggerate, but he
No,
believes himself.
yeah, but that confidence is something that I like, you know, because I always say, like, for me, every player, you respect your seniors, you respect your elders, but you're
Hmm.
always supposed to believe that
Yeah,
you will beat them. You know, you have to back yourself in every situation. And
yeah,
even if you don't beat them, you raise your hand up and say, okay, no problem.
yeah,
This person
yeah,
was better than me. But then you continue to work hard to be able to reach that level and to be able to surpass that level. So for
yeah,
me, I like it, you know. I know
yeah.
that when he didn't get called up for the Super Eagles as of the last camp, he
Hmm.
was very upset about it because he felt like he was better than some players that were selected, and you know.
Yes,
So I
yes,
agree with what you're saying. I know that he felt he was better than some players. You know, he was saying
yes,
this person
yes,
over me. How can you know?
yeah.
Uh,
How can this player be ahead of him? Yeah,
but I
I
like
know.
the confidence. I like the confidence.
Hmm.
So
And
looking forward to next season. Do
mhm.
you think he should stay at Getafe? Do you think maybe if an opportunity comes, he should take the opportunity? How are you feeling about that?
For me, it's just like it's like you're going to a market. You want to go and buy no testing. You know, and when you say no testing, you carry and go out. You
Mm.
test it, if the product is good, or because, for example, now I don't think you will scout him as a midfielder. It's hard. That's why I will disagree with you several times that this boy can play in the midfield, but in reality, I don't think a scout will call him. Oh, I can see one. He's gonna be like a first nine. Or striker.
Or left attacking midfielder kind of this thing.
Or striker.
Mm.
So I just think that it's difficult for you to know his position, except maybe a coach just sees that, oh, I can use this guy differently.
Mm.
I just think so. For me, I think he's probably going to be in Spain. I don't see a Premier League move,
Coming
for
for
him
him yet. Mm.
go be in Spain. I think he's going to join Nigeria FC if possible. Nigeria
Sevilla.
Sevilla is going to join Nigeria FC if possible, and maybe Valencia to replace Sadiq Kumar. You never know. So those are the moves that I think will actually happen for him. But not a bad season for him actually. I
No,
don't think
definitely not. What do you say?
I don't think he should stay there. They're a selling club.
I mean, they are a selling club, but at the
They
same
sell
time,
this guy now from myself. You see? No, it
this
was
guy
with them.
that
What was that? The guy that went to myself, the Jamaican British boy, Greenwood.
was he in
No,
Getafe.
no, he was in Getafe.
Yeah,
He
wait.
was in Getafe.
Before, or was he on loan?
He was on loan, and so they don't
Okay,
give
he
him.
was in Getafe last season. That is
That,
true. Yeah, he was in Getafe last season.
yes,
You know,
yes.
I mean, but for me, I like him. I think he had a good season. You know, there were some highs, some high highs. I remember his game against Atletico was a big high for him. Started the season very well. There were some lows like getting sent off.
Mm-hmm.
Getafe is a club that's playing for Getafe. You know that you're on the back foot a lot of the time. You're chasing the game. You're playing
Mm-hmm.
on the counter. You don't really get to express yourself that much. But one thing that I really like about him is one, his availability,
Mm-hmm.
and two, his ability to just adapt and that versatility to be able to play in multiple positions is something that a lot of coaches like players for. The
Mm-hmm.
downside of it is that once you show a coach that you can play anywhere they need you, all of a sudden now they stop playing you in your actual position and they just start using you everywhere on the field because they know that you're ready to play there.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic ability to have as a player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if not for the way Getafe play, I
Mm-hmm.
would have said personally, I think he should stay,
Mm-hmm.
develop a little bit more. Because even if they want to sell him now, I mean, I've not checked his transfer value. Um, I don't know how much they will necessarily get for him at the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe if he stays another year, if he plays in the midfield next season now, for example, let's say he plays in the midfield next season and he
Yeah.
has a brilliant season, they
Mm-hmm.
might be able to sell him for maybe 20-25 million after.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
might be a good thing for him to just stay. But I'm definitely very impressed with how he has played this season.
This
I
is
think he has shown us that he's somebody that we should be excited about. We should look forward to what he can do in the future. And I think it's Super Eagles opportunity. I don't know if he's going to be able to play this Unity Cup. We're still waiting for the list, but it's
he got invited.
he's been invited. When are they going to give us the lists?
I think it was meant to be last week, but these people, it's going to be this week because
Okay.
camp will open next week.
Yeah, I mean, if the game is on the 28th, I'll be this thing, then we need to start. Uh, People need to start traveling and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, okay, his value right now is 8 million according
Mm-hmm.
to transfer
We
market. So
sell
eight
him 10.
million in 1 year to be able to get up to 8 million is even a good
Mm-hmm.
jump in his transfer value. But I think if he stays another season there and he has another good year, he can go up
Mm-hmm.
to 20. At least
I
even if
think value will go
even
down. Yes.
if he stays in Getafe.
I think that we see what was said. That's Arambara. They will sell him. See, they will look for a way to sell someone. So I don't think what they did this season. I don't think they were able to survive that one.
Hmm.
I think they need a different approach.
Maybe, Sha, maybe these clubs it can be very interesting,
It's a yo-yo
but
club, isn't it?
I mean, whichever club he's going to, he needs to pick the right club because obviously, for a player just one season, if you join the wrong club,
Mm-hmm.
it can slow
And
you down or it can reduce the
I think
limelight
it's people
around
across.
you or the buzz you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I am happy for him. I'm very happy for him, and I hope that he can continue in this vein as he
Yeah,
continues to progress in his career. I love
yeah.
that he's a confident young boy.
Mm-hmm.
I love that he believes in himself so much. He just
Mm-hmm.
needs to continue to deliver. You do it enough to the point where nobody can ignore you. There's
Mm-hmm.
no point feeling bad or feeling upset when you don't get certain opportunities, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you're in a sport like football. As much as football is an opinion-based game, football is
Mm-hmm.
also a game that if you are playing at the top of your game, everybody will see it.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much anybody doesn't like Osimhen, you cannot deny what he's doing. No matter how
Mm-hmm.
much you don't like Lukman, you cannot deny what he's doing. So I just look at it that if he can continue to perform at this high level, by God's grace, if he can play in his actual position next season
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing well, nobody can deny what he's doing. But
Yeah.
like I said, Getafe is a selling club. If they get 10 million for him, they'll take it.
They will sell him. Someone that bought 500,000 1 year, 1 million. If means I'll do that business now. I got some cheap for 500,000 or for 400,000, and I'm saying 10 million now. With sell on clause on it.
Hmm.
I will tell you, I will sell it. I will say bye bye to our
But yeah.
Nigerian this day. They call him one particular name also.
Hmm. But let's see how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes. They love him at Getafe. He has impressed them so much. But I mean, that's fantastic business for them, man. Fantastic
Mm-hmm.
business. It's not easy to just get that kind of cheap player that ends up being a key player for your team.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever scouted him, give kudos to that scout.
Mm-hmm.
They've done really well.